All right. Okay. This is Lucifer here, also known as Seth, or Seth, also known as Lucifer, whichever comes first. Business and spiritual consultant. Anyways, man, if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. Secondly, uh, I just made a video and I couldn't finish the video, so that was kind of whack. It was kind of good. It was kind of funny. Anyway, whatever. But I just saw like the pilot. There was this Lucifer guy. They're doing a debate. I think the debate was still on. Funny part, what I want to say is, not that this matters right now because I had to redo the video, and at the time that I'm doing this video, they probably finished, their live stream. But while I was doing my video, I've noticed something. I was doing my video, and he was on this live stream and he's trying to debate and shit, but he wasn't talking. And the thing is, there was this Lucifer, Anubis Lucifer guy. That was his name, Anubis Lucifer guy. That was on. That specifically said at the time that I joined in their little live stream and shit. He said to Dolo that now they can hear. Can you hear me? Because like he couldn't hear what they were saying, right? He couldn't hear what they were saying at the time that he was doing the video, right? But while I was doing my video, I'd already finished doing the video. I was just listening to the playback. I was just listening to the playback. And as soon as I stopped watching the playback, I go on his live stream, and now all of a sudden he's talking, right? Because I have this feeling like they actually extract information from my computer sometimes, bro. And I don't even know if it's my computer, just the cloud. Like they use backdoors in the cloud to access people's contents, you know, um, which is a very doable thing, actually. So I don't know. It's just interesting, bro, because I have this tendency to be like, I'm sure he's not saying anything right now. Or if I go on his channel now, he'll start saying something that makes sense. So I just had that feeling. So anyway, man. Uh, anyways, I go on this channel. This guy named Anubis Lucifer. So Dolo is like, so he's talking. The guy's talking. First of all, I do think he's kind of a troll. He's kind of a troll. I think he's kind of a troll a little bit. And not in a bad way, not in a bad way, but he might be a little bit of a troll. Then and the guy, so it's like Dodo is like, first of all, you're mixing two cultures and things like that, right? You're mixing two cultures together and everything, and he's like, Anubis has nothing to do with Lucifer, and that's not true. I mean, that's not true. Anubis does have something to do with Lucifer. There's a lot of cultures that has something to do with Lucifer. Norse mythology, Odin is old one eye. Lucifer only has one eye. Lucifer only has one eye. He doesn't look through both eyes. He has one eye. Um, God, God has one eye. Lucifer has one eye, right? But God doesn't need eyes. So that's the difference. Of course, Lucifer sees many things with only one eye. So one eye counts as two, but he would be a lot stronger if he had both eyes, obviously. So Lucifer is actually old one eye. You know, he's actually he's actually Samael. He is the god of death. He is the angel of death. Lucifer is actually who else? Um, what other culture that Lucifer is? Um, Hold on, I'm gonna do a quick Google search. So, anyways, did a quick search. I don't feel like getting into it because I keep getting. I don't want to take too long. I keep getting the same counterpart over and over again. I have to do a quick search and shit. Anyway, because they keep phosphorus keeps popping back over and over again. I guess phosphorus is red. It's a red element. It's a red scientific element, so I guess that makes sense. Phosphorus. That's the Roman god, supposedly the Roman counterpart for Satan. I don't know if that's true, to be quite honest. Ares, god of war, Greek mythology. Um, Loki could be another one, but Loki and Odin, I think Loki is a misconception. Loki is not really Satan. Loki would be more like Samael or Mammon. Loki is it's a misconception. You know what I mean? It's a misconception. Loki has the same responsibility in the pantheon of the Asgard. Loki has the same responsibility that Lucifer had, more or less, kind of. He has a connection with Lucifer, but he doesn't have the same responsibility. Lucifer actually is a god of death. Lucifer is a god of death. That's what he is in its purest essence. It's not just evil. He doesn't. It's not just evil. He's a god of death. He wreaks havoc. So because he wreaks havoc, he's a god of death. Just like somebody that's really good at killing people, you can call him a god of death too. So Anubis, Seth, Loki, Baron Samedi, Papa Legba, um, you know, Lilith, all those entities, right? All share one body. They're all part of the same concept, right? Even though they can seem to have their own distinct personalities and traits, they actually are the same person. It's just one aspect multiplied by seven, so, or sometimes more, some multiplicated by 9, 7, 13, 12, the same numbers that comes back over and over again. So I'm kind of surprised. And the surprising thing is the way that you have to notice is by knowing your astrology, right? If you know your astrology, you can easily find out who and who is the underlying part of which god, right? So, like I said before, some people think Loki is Satan. Well, actually, I would say that's true because Satan is not actually Lucifer, but Lucifer is actually Satan. But Satan is a counterpart. Satan is a smaller version of what Lucifer is. That's what Satan is. Satan is a bastardized version of Lucifer. It's a bastardized version of Lucifer. So Loki, in a sense, is also a bastardized version of Lucifer, because Loki is a bastard, right? He doesn't have a father. He is fatherless. He's adopted, right? So I'm sure there's a metaphor in there somewhere, right? Like he's a bastardized version of Lucifer. He's not actually Lucifer. He's not a god of death. Loki's not a god of death. He doesn't kill people. He causes mischief. He causes trouble. He causes suffering and pain, but this suffering and pain is always connected to a boon. It's always connected to a gift, right? So he can't cause trouble without giving somebody something good in return for the trouble he's caused. So Loki is very important, just like Lucifer is on the spectrum, on the light spectrum. He's an important person in the light spectrum because without him, some heroes would not exist. So he's actually responsible for heroes becoming great. But it's not his fault. It's beyond his control. He has to be bad. He has to be a bad person. He does. It's not his fault. If all the Azirs, if all the Asgards are good, no one there won't be any progress. So in order to have progress, he must cause bad things to happen. He doesn't have a choice. He has to do bad things in order to have progress. You know. So it's the same story over again. Over and over again. It's like Zeus in the Pantheon of Zeus. To me, Lucifer is relatable to Trismegistus, the trickster god, which would also be, you know, a segue towards Loki. But Trismegistus is Hermes is totally not, because in Greek mythology, the Greeks and the Romans use gods as doorways to consciousness and to explain everyday mundane things, to give people principles and morals and values. That's how the Greeks used to use the gods more than they actually believed. They did actually believe that these gods existed, but in a sense because they built temples for these people, but they were smarter than they looked. And Hermes is multiple people at the same time. He could even be Zeus in disguise, right? Like everybody thinks Zeus is the king, but the actual king could actually be Hermes. He's the god of speed, alchemy. He has multiple names like Trismegistus, which is a very peculiar name, very bizarre name, and which means three times great. He's a wizard. He's actually the one that delivers message from gods. He teaches things that come from gods. He knows. He basically he's a magician, a scientist, and those traits, those physical attributes and those mental acuities are all things that are more prone to depict who Lucifer is and his pantheon of demons. Because in his pantheon of demons, God did not teach men anything. He didn't teach men anything. So men were ignorant, dumb, and ignorant. But they still had power, even though they were the most stupid cretin in the universe. But when Lucifer got cast down to Earth, right? When he said, go live with the fucking humans, and if you love them so fucking much, why don't you just go live with these sons of bitches? So when he got cast down, he said, okay, you gonna treat me that way? I'm gonna teach all these sons of bitches how to make swords, how to make potions, how to do magic, and all kind of shit. So all these things are attributed to Lucifer, not God. God just made dudes, and they were all dumb as fuck, And they didn't have fire. Prometheus. They didn't know how to make fire. They didn't know nothing. They didn't know how to make weapons. They were just stupid people walking around, fucking brain dead zombies. And okay, maybe I'm a little bit angry right now. They weren't, but I'm a little bit pissed off, but um, you know, because it is what it is. It is what it is. So anyway, the thing is, as an astrologer, you should know that all the gods are connected. All the gods have counterparts, and they're all connected. Anubis, Seth, and Lucifer, Ra, Thoth, they're all connected, right? Even the Mexican, the Aztec gods are connected to the Norwegian gods, and the Norwegian gods are connected to the Egyptian gods. The Egyptian gods are connected to the African gods. The African gods are connected to the voodoo gods. They're all the same. They're all the same. The only the only technically the only religion that doesn't have gods that's connecting to all the other gods on the planet would be the Christians, because the Christians don't have gods, they have prophets, right? They have prophets, and if you're not a prophet, you're an idol, right? So they have idol prophets, they have saints, right? They have saints. They don't have gods, right? Even though all the gods all have the same personality, you can recognize a god by his personality trait. You can recognize a god by the kind of job that he has, the personality trait that he has, and the way that the charm that he has, right? You can easily spot a god from that, right? Because it's in the book, right? And you cannot escape your star, right? You can't escape your star, bro. Like you stars, the stars you see in the sky, they shine bright, right? But that light is actually coming towards you, because one of those stars could stop shining, but they're so far away that you would only know that that star has stopped shining years later, like 100 years after it stopped shining. So what we're looking at in the sky is basically a residual image of whatever the fuck is going on deep in outer space, right? So there's probably, like, if there was a massive war against heaven and hell right now, deep in outer space, and you could technically see it, but it's so far away that the only by the time that you see it, that war would actually probably be over. And you'd be sitting there like, oh my god, there's, like, explosions and there's angels and demons fighting in the sky, but you're seeing something that already happened. So that's why you can't escape who you are. You can't escape your fate, right? And that's not a bad thing. In the case of personality traits and character, that's not a bad thing. It just means you are who you are. You can't really escape your personality. There's no reason to escape your personality. You can escape your personality. I don't know why you would, but you can't escape your personality. The way of escaping your personality is to not be yourself, is by being somebody else or by trying to be somebody else, right? Then you can escape your personality. But in actuality, you can't really escape your personality. You have to you're yourself. You can't escape that. You're born on a specific date, and you have a specific star and a specific horoscope and a specific sign, and those specific things are related to a specific god that acts in a specific way, and you act either modestly or wholeheartedly like that specific God. And that specific God is connected to another specific God, to another culture, and so on and so on and so on. It just continues until you come full circle. Yes, here I go again with that whole Ouroboros shit. Yes, I said it. So anyway, funny thing is, man, Dolo's doing this video. He's like, yo, I know who Lucifer is, man. He's like, I know who Lucifer is, man. You are not Lucifer. He's like, I don't. You're not Lucifer. Lucifer doesn't even talk like that. That's what he's. Lucifer don't even talk like that, bro. Like, you know. But hey, man, it is what it is. So that was funny because he was too confident when he said that shit. He was too confident when he said that, man. Lucifer doesn't even talk like that, man. Anyway, so but the thing is, I like the kid, man. I like the kid, man. I like him, man. He knows his shit. He knows his shit a little bit. He knows his shit, man. Me personally, I always had a connection with Anubis. I always had a connection with Anubis too. And I used to put like Anubis everywhere and everything I did. I had my first Facebook, which is still open, like Suki So Clean. It's an Anubis, that's in there. This is my first Facebook, so that's like from ages ago, bro. Like 2005 or something, right? It's still open. You can still see it. It's Suki So Clean. It's a Anubis head, right? Or Anubis fighting Ra or something. I don't remember. Um, multi Anubis is another thing that I depicted myself as. I remember when I used to sell coffee for Organo Gold a couple of years ago. That was my entry login for my backlog. You know, so that's what I had to write to enter my backlog. I had to write multi Anubis. Because I always had the knowledge that Anubis is multiple people at the same time. I always had the knowledge that Anubis was multiple people at the same time. I never saw gods as being just one specific person and they can't go over here or they can't go over there and stuff like that. They might not need to because they have multiple personalities. So they don't have to go all the way across China or all the way across Haiti or all the way across, you know, Russia or Norvege or some shit like that, the Netherlands and shit like that, right? All they had to do is create a personality, and that personality could take care of whoever people needed their help. So multi Anubis, you Zeus, what's his face? Zeus, Odin, you know, Mars, Pluto, whatever, Pluto, what's his name? Poseidon, Pluto, Poseidon, god of seas, Orishas, gods of thunder. Orishas are gods of thunder. Vishnu, Devas, divas, divas, you know. Oh, it's so wonderful. Um, so that's another thing too, man. Like, and dude don't know. He don't know. He don't know. He doesn't know. He wasn't ready. No. He don't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. And he does know about astrology, like about what, man, this guy he can go, I mean, geez, dang. But the thing is, I think that's the only thing he knows, and that's it. He doesn't go further than that. He doesn't go deep into that. He doesn't experiment. And this is all for money. You know, but the thing that people don't understand, he already got his money. He got paid like 200,000 to be a spiritual hitman. You know, he got paid $200,000 to go on YouTube and to try to eliminate anybody that has any form of actual spiritual strength, you know, or spiritual knowledge. So, you know, like I don't feel bad because you already have your money. I don't feel bad about that. And I especially don't feel bad when you're trying to curse me and you're sending goons to try to kill me and shit like that or whatever to try to harm me. So I don't feel bad about wrecking your shit. I don't feel bad at all. You know, there's nothing to feel bad about because I know there's some people that might feel like I'm bullying him with my mental prowess. But I'm not bullying. How can I bully somebody that's trying to kill me? Right? You know, you started it. If I wasn't bullying you right now, if I didn't bully you, you would have either I'd be dead, I would be cursed with so many fucking curses that, you know, I'd be in a goddamn hospital and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? So I have no pity for somebody like you. But you're funny as fuck though, I'm not gonna lie. You were funny as hell, man. But you know, I have no remorse. I have no sympathy for you, man. I have no sympathy for you at all. So, anyways, man, this video is too damn long. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.